Hello, you're watching World Without Rule of Law. Welcome to the Southern Virginia Homestead. So today, I just want to show you what I got going on down here. I recently started working on my workshop area, cleaning it out and doing a few things here. So I'm going to put a picture maybe right here of what the space looked like before. Alright, what we're looking here is the basic layout of the workbench. So I cleated the wall and I'm going to do some legs and go from there. And so here I built a bench for my chop saw off the workbench, and what I did was, let's see, right, if I could do this right here, I raised it. The workbench is here, and I dropped the chop saw table down a few inches. So what that does is that puts, the table's down here. That puts the surface of this flush with the workbench. This way here, cutting something with any length, you can run right out onto the bench. So that was my thinking there. And I had some old cabinets that we had gotten. My wife actually picked them up at a place she used to work for part-time. They were a moving company and they had them left over, I guess for years. They were having a tag sale and getting rid of stuff, and they just about gave them to her. She picked up 4 of them, so I put 2 here, and I've got 2 more that I'm going to bolt together and put casters on and make a work table that I can move around out of that. And I'm going to try, I got a table saw on the other side. I still haven't finished cleaning the basement out and getting everything organized, but I'm going to try to adjust the height of, I believe by the time I put the casters on the cabinets, they will be as high or higher than the table saw. So I'm going to have to build the table saw up, as long as it's not too high to where I can't work on it, which I'm pretty tall, so I don't think that's going to be the case, so that the work surface of the table that I make is the same height as the table saw table. So again, if I'm cutting big pieces or like doing something with plywood or sheets of anything, whatever, or even bigger, longer boards, I can run them off onto that table. And then, as I said, it will be on casters, so I can move it around and use it as an independent workstation as well. And of course it'll have the drawers, so I'll use it for storage also. So that's just kind of a look. We put a new 200 amp service in. I built this workstation for my cordless. You can kind of see I just made it out of pine. I have another drill to my car because I was doing a job. It hangs on that side. And then I got the charger and my extra batteries up top. And it plugs in right down there. So what I'm going to do here on this workbench is I am going to build upper walls so that I have plywood surfaces to hang stuff on. So I want to cover over those windows for 2 reasons: for security purposes and because they're old single pane and very brittle windows, and I want to make shelves in there anyway. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, is I'm going to frame, make sure I'm pointing at this here. I'm going to put framing on here, all along here, and on the other side as well. And then I'm going to take these windows out and box them and put probably pressure treated planks one by, like decking maybe, and then I don't know if I'll side the outside or paint it or whatever. But I'll have this shelf here. The thickness of the window is approximately 5 or 6 inches deep. You can see I already got this stuff on there. And then when I come out, a 2x4 laid flat on here in plywood, it'll come out another couple inches. And then I'll have a plywood surface to hang wrenches and all kinds of tools in an attempt to get organized. And then, just gonna pan over here, it'll kind of be the same for this window here. So that's kind of my plan. I put some electrical outlets in there, and having that wall just make it easy. I could surface mount some EMT or PVC and put outlets, but I like the flexibility of having the wood to hang stuff and being able to move it around. I could put anchors in the concrete, but I just feel like it's better. It gives me a little more flexibility, and I want to hang. I got a couple wall art hangings, one that matches the Gadsden flag, like my channel logo there, and then a friend of mine made, you know, and not in a bad way, but I was a little jealous of Spicy's workspace that from Backwoods Raised. He has a little space that he built in his house, and kind of like a man cave, and he uses it for his studio. And I was looking at that and I was like, man, that is one nice space. And I commented on the video and told him that I thought it was pretty cool what he did there. Now, we have a pretty small house, so I don't have room upstairs to do anything like that, so I'm kind of relegated to this space, and I do want to put a workshop down here to work on various projects and stuff. So it's kind of going to be dual purpose. It's going to be a, you know, kind of like a little YouTube studio and a workspace all combined in one. And so we'll see how it turns out. I got a lot more organization to do in the basement. It's pretty much a mess now. I'll pan it quick here, but I've got to over on the other side still tear down that old electrical panel. I think you could see it there. Bunch of wires, and I gotta clean up some stuff, add some more outlets, maybe a few more lights. There's the furnace right in the middle. I got a wood stove on the other side. And so as I do that, I'm gonna build some shelves. I've already got some started over by the freezer. Let me kind of move you over and show you that. Right over here. Of course, I did the video of the water heater, and there's the manifold, the homemade manifold they made for the PEX. Just in an effort to save money, right? They wanted like $480 for the manifolds. I mean, it cost 100 and change. If I remember correctly, it was like $9 per valve. You know, then there's some fittings and different stuff, and I just made the valves myself. And what happens is, the way the valves are, you could just feed in and have them all in a straight line, but the ones up here on the end will have less pressure when all the fixtures are calling for water. So by feeding it in a loop, if you can see, that's a square, right, with half the valves off of each side, it equalizes the pressure, so that if you're running multiple fixtures upstairs are calling for cold or hot water, same theory on each one, then the pressure is equalized, so you don't notice, like if it was a straight line, the furthest one on top would have less pressure if they were all on, if that makes any sense. I'm sure that it does. So that's kind of my thinking there. I kind of watched a few videos on it and just looked at how the manifolds were made, and it just seemed like, yeah, there wasn't $500 there in the manifold. So I'm happy that I made it myself. Saved myself some money, and it's a pretty decent project. So we got the inline water heater. Over there's the little freezer, and you can see that I started some shelves. So we bought 2 of these shelving units. They were on sale at Lowe's, and I put one together there. And I'm going to see, we got the ducts come down there and they're kind of in the way on the top. But over there, on the other side of that duct, once I remove that, right next to the well tank there, once I remove that old panel, I'm going to put another 4-foot, that's a 4-foot shelf right there. And we got 2 of them, I'm going to put the other one over there. And then the bottom, 1 or 2 tiers, going up approximately halfway, I'm going to connect it with 2x, put some plywood or whatever, and make 2 more shelves. And that would be for bigger, we have some bigger bins that won't fit between the shelves, they'll go on there. So this is just an attempt to organize everything. And then by doing that, I can clean up this mess, and then I can finish my workstation, my workshop, and everything else I got going. So you can see it's kind of a mess. There's the table saw. And again, I'm going to make that table to go with it, and that table will have casters so that I can just roll it against the wall when I'm not using it. One thing, I didn't care for these shelves. I don't know if it'll necessarily show. I think it will. Probably not, but if you can see, I put 2x4 cleats here. What happens is, this is basically 2 shelves, and these rails are split, and they join right there. And when you push them down to get them into the notch, they go over. It's a poor design. I wasn't too happy with it, but I almost toyed with the idea of returning the shelves because of it. But then I said, well, we got them fairly cheaply. They were on clearance. Maybe that's why, because it was a poor design. But I imagine some people would have returned them because it kind of went together okay. But then when you go to push the shelves down on the top into the notches, it actually pushes the bottom rail and wedges it in between the, the top rail in between the bottom rail. And the whole unit drops down, just drops down. So just by putting those 2x there, let's see if I can zoom. Yeah, you can see them right there. By doing that, it didn't allow them to drop down and solve the whole problem. And so, like I said, they were pretty cheap. They're on clearance, so I don't remember exactly what they were, but I think they're like half price of what they were retailed for. And they're pretty sturdy shelf other than that. Now, if someone was in a situation where they wanted to break that in half and make 2 shorter shelves, then there would be absolutely no flaw whatsoever in it. But stacking them like that was problematic, so that 2x4 just kind of solved that. Anyway, going on and on about that, just say that for no reason other than that's what I did with that. But that's it. So again, this whole section still has to be cleaned out, shelves built, reorganized, and then I can get back to work on the workshop / studio. And I know it won't be as nice as Spicy's space, but it's what I got to work with. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. We're back. This is what I saw when I walked out of the basement. And so it never gets old looking at the sky. The heavens declare the glory of God. I don't know if this does it justice, but it's absolutely magnificent in the way that it looks. In the summer, it sets more over here. I'm kind of behind that tree, but yeah, I just wanted to show you all that. Never ceases to amaze me at how awesome the sky is here. And one thing I like about it, there's no street lights or there's no light pollution at all. So at night, if I come out, I can see the moon and the stars. And some nights, there's just layers and layers and layers of stars. And I'm sure many of you live in areas that don't have ambient light or light pollution and know exactly what I'm talking about. But it just gives me pause and makes me stand back and thank God for the blessings that He's given us in this place. Again, thanks for watching. God bless you.